All right, what's up, man? It's your boy Zone 6 coming at you with another video real quick. Been a kind of cool, busy weekend, but I got some time to go ahead and conversate real quick. I'm not gonna hold up too much of the time because I understand that the game is on and it is Mother's Day. But I want to speak on a few things in boxing. First off, let me start with the Romero card. Um, the first issue I have is obviously with the ref. Tony Weeks should be under investigation for that. That was completely ridiculous. That was completely just irrelevant. The whole thing was a botch to me in person. I don't have any idea what was going on there. I thought it was a good fight. I thought it had potential to be a greater fight had the fight continued. But Tony Weeks, for some reason, saw it differently. I don't know why. I don't know what was going on there. That seemed real odd. Um, the part that makes it the oddest is because a knockdown had already been established on Rolly. So therefore, points were given. And I don't understand what was the need to go ahead and stop the fight. Um, Tony Weeks needs to be under investigation. I mean, Rolly hit the canvas. Um, the knockdown that they tried to count wasn't really a knockdown on Rolly's behalf. So Rolly got knocked down. Then Rolly was given a unofficial knockdown, but it was official because the knockdown wasn't legit. Okay, but it was made an official knockdown on behalf of Rolly. It seems almost like it was an attempt to kind of even out the knockdown that he had received earlier in the fight to kind of make some balance. Soon as Rolly looked like he was picking up steam, it seemed like he had his opponent in trouble. Then they went ahead and jumped in and called it off unnecessarily. So that's one of them things that makes the sport of boxing look good as a whole. But it is what it is. The ref determined to go ahead and stop the fight. That was pretty ignorant to me. It kind of blew the night of boxing. And it is what it is. Janibek. Janibek looked absolutely terrific. One thing I want to point out and that I'm going to bring up is I'm trying to figure out why everybody is giving Demetrius Andrade a pass or not having a conversation about why he did not fight Janibek. I'm very, very confused about that. Janibek was on the heels of Andrade. Andrade is so concerned about Canelo, he's running around talking about it's me again, crashing the guy's press conference at 168. And still to this day, Andrade haven't accomplished anything at 168. But we allow this guy to be considered as one of the guys who will be inducted in boxing. And yet Andrade continues to do ignorant stuff all the time, through and through, time and time again. I don't understand why he did that. We already know he pulled out the Zach Parker fight, which would have landed him in position at minimum to be in position to fight Canelo. And we would have had to see Canelo make a decision about that. But we didn't get a chance yet again because Demetrius Andrade pulled out of the fight with a back injury. And he also didn't even fight Janibek. I don't know why he didn't fight Janibek before he left 160. I do not understand that. Then there's a conversation about him and Benavidez fighting, but then he keep referring to Benavidez as being a big boy to suggest that 168, you're not big? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so if that's the case, then you should have stayed at 160 and you could have fought Janibek. Again, Tony Weeks needs to be under investigation. That was a very, very strange stoppage. It was unnecessary. It was weird. It wasn't it just wasn't proper, in my opinion. When you go back and look at the fight, it just looked like it's suspect. Also, Keith Thurman. Okay. Seeing Keith Thurman interview, and I absolutely get what he's saying. And the point of the matter is no one's gonna have empathy for Keith Thurman because they just don't like the guy. They just don't vibe with the guy. They don't care. They don't care if Errol Spence says he's going to duck you. It's going to be a justification for it. They don't care what happens. Keith Thurman, my issue with Keith Thurman is Keith Thurman giving too much interviews. He's giving too much. And when I say interview, I mean he's talking too much like he's on the telecast instead of getting in the ring. I get it. We want to hear from these guys. We want to hear explanations. We want to hear why they doing this, why they doing that. But the truth of the matter is, Keith, you got to fight. Okay, you got to get back to one time. You got to get back to knocking people out, being quiet, shutting your mouth, and putting in that work. Okay, Barrios is not enough. That's not a credible opponent. You got to go knock out Stanionis, Ortiz, and probably a Boost Ennis to get back in the good graces of these fans. Okay, because they've already written you off. They already don't like you because of your accomplishments and the things that you accomplished in boxing and the fact that you was on the heels of Mayweather. And I get it. Some boxers' existence and success is in opposition to what you promote on your channel. So I can understand how that can be a problem or conundrum for you as a uploader. You may say Fighter X is going to do this. I predict that Fighter X is going to do that. And if that said fighter prove you wrong all the time, I can understand the psychology of built up resentment. See, people didn't like Keith Thurman. They didn't think he was the guy to do what he was doing. And when he was doing it and winning and winning and winning, no one would bet against him. They would say it with their mouth, but nobody would bet against him. Not against Porter. It was some people who were saying that Porter was going to win, but they're nowhere to be found all of a sudden no more. You know, now they hate Porter for losing to Keith Thurman. Danny Garcia was people, believe it or not, they thought Danny Garcia was going to win. Okay, there was people who thought Diego Chavez was going to win against Keith Thurman. So this happens over and over and over again. And I understand. I'm not taking it personal. I'm just saying for Keith Thurman's sake, he need to get back in the ring and he need to fight, because the truth of the matter is you're in opposition to what people content is. And uploaders and people who think a certain way don't have you written in the script for their content and what they think will happen. Okay? A lot of people want to be right, and they want their content to be solidified and justified by getting predictions right. Okay? Or they want to be the guy that says, I told you so, or they want to be the person that's on the money. And that's respectful. You know what I'm saying? That's understandable. But Keith Thurman, you got to get into the ring and you got to fight. All these interviews and telling us about this and that and behind the scenes, that's not going to work. That's not enough. That's just not good enough. And it's just not going to work. So Keith Thurman, you need to get your ass together. You need to get your shit together, and you need to be getting in here and fight. I mean, you've been in one weight class your whole career for the most part. We know you went up to 154 before, but come on, man, you got to do something. This shit is not going to work. They're not going to allow you to talk your way around issues. You got to go in there and fight. Okay? Tony Weeks need to be put under investigation. Now, Keith Thurman does look good, look in shape. He looked like he's worked out all his injury bugs, but at the end of the day, that's cool. We got to see how that translates into the ring and see if that's going to win him fights. That's what we want to see. We want to see the old Keith Thurman knocking people out, stopping people, splatting people, and doing what he does. You know what I'm saying? The KOs for life, Keith Thurman. We want to do that. We want the burn money, Keith Thurman. We want the I got an O and ain't afraid to let it go, Keith Thurman, which he has let his O go to Pacquiao, obviously. But we want that Keith Thurman back, okay? It is what it is. Tony Weeks needs to be placed up on the investigation. They need to test his blood alcohol levels. They need to see if he had any drugs in his system. They need to see if he was going through any mental health issues, because there was a complete fucking lapse of judgment for that Romero fight. I mean, and it is so egregious that it looked like the fix was in. Okay, you can't have that kind of stuff happening on a boxing platform, especially when it's free on a Saturday night and it's a disgrace to boxing. That kind of shit right there turns people off from boxing. Okay, but hopefully Janibek made up for it with his excellent stoppage, okay, of Butler. Okay, so Janibek is something that's promising at the 160-pound division. He called out. From my understanding, he called out Jamal. I didn't get to see the back end of it. Somebody confirmed that. I got this from my fellas, and I trust them, but just confirm this so I won't misspeak or something like that. But Janibek apparently called out Jamal and Canelo, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I heard. I'm not sure. But Janibek versus Jamal makes perfect sense. You understand what I'm saying? Janibek versus Jamal makes perfect sense. There's no way around it, okay? There's no way around it. So, another point with Errol Spence Jr. There's nothing really to say about Errol Spence and anything that he puts on Twitter until he gets in the ring with Terrence Crawford. Same thing for Terrence Crawford. I'm not going to be impressed with anything, or I'm not going to believe anything until I see these guys completing their ring walk and the announcements are going off and they're calling their records out and these guys are about to face each other. Because you can't believe anything coming from Errol Spence, if it's scripted or not. You can't believe anything coming from Terrence Crawford right now. And I'm talking about not Terrence Crawford specifically, but them as it pertains to this fight. It just doesn't seem to work. It just doesn't seem like the chemistry is there. It just doesn't seem like there's an intrigue for one party to have a person who actually wants to fight them. It seems like one party, and that's the PBC, likes to have fighters that are not intrigued in fighting them, and they like to make deals with those guys and go back and forth and blossom and nurture the A side, B side conversation. Who's ducking and who's not? I think the promoters and the sanctioning body sometimes get a lot of clap and clout off the fact that we're talking about them in the fights that don't happen. I believe sometimes that's helpful for the boxers as well too. All right, quick wrap up too, because I know this game is coming on. Everybody's on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you all. I understand the UK celebrates theirs in March. I just found out. So happy Mother's Day to all that is celebrating. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So in addition to Romero, right? This is not going to help him in his career. Rolly still is kind of awkward. Rolly is still kind of unpolished. He did not look any different from what he did in what he was looking like at 135. I'm just gonna be real with you. He looked like he was still the same old Rolly, and I get it. Yeah, it's a certain point where we got to recognize that the guy started late, but at the same time, I mean, you got to get past that. It's a lot of guys who start late. We can't keep hanging our hats on that as an excuse. So at the end of the day, Rolly Romero did not look good. He looked all right. He looked pretty much the same, and he need to correct a lot of deficiencies, or he's not going to make it far. It's only a matter of time before he get viciously stopped. He's the new Ricardo Mayorga for me. I mean, he's going to sell tickets. He's going to talk a lot of good stuff, a lot of good trash. He's going to be a hot commodity, a ticket seller. But this is one of these guys that's going to end up with 10 losses before it's said and done. He's going to have a record of like 20-10. You know what I'm saying? 20-8. And, he may get a couple of world titles in there too. But this guy's going to be a Chop Corley. This guy's going to be a Darnell Boone. He's going to be a Ricardo Mayorga type of fighter. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a Glenn Johnson. He's going to be some tough work at times. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to really run into some issues with technically sound, efficient, proficient fighters. That's just the way it is. And especially if the fighter has a high IQ, accuracy, counterpunching ability, and power. So, like a Juan Manuel Marquez for Rolly is something that he never wants to face. Tank, now that I think about it after seeing last night, he would never probably beat Tank. Okay? This guy would never beat a Keith Thurman-ish type of fighter, somebody with those fast twitch, power, punching, counter abilities. He wouldn't even beat like an Andre Berto, just to use an example. Not saying that those are guys he obviously can fight, but just using those kind of fast twitch, counter punching guys with some speed and some power. Rolly's just not going to ever be able to deal with those guys as from what I see in my eye test. All right, and to close it strong on Mother's Day. Not to suggest that Clarissa Shields is a mother, but I want to speak on her recent comments about if she were a man, she would be the face of boxing. Well, here's the thing, Clarissa Shields. You're not a man, you're a woman. Okay? I'm sick and tired of women trying to hijack men's spaces. I'm sick of men trying to hijack women's spaces. Okay? I respect it all. I get it. I'm not talking about any political issues. I'm talking about in the realm of sports. I'm specifically talking about boxing. Okay? So this is not a indictment on anything that you got going on personal in your personal life or your personal friends. This is nothing against whatever out there politically. I'm just telling you that for me, Clarissa Shields, when I assess and analyze her interview and the stuff that she's saying out of her mouth as a boxing content creator and as a boxing fan who paid for the product, so I'm analyzing my purchase, the product that I buy. Okay, so let me say this. Clarissa Shields, you're not a man. You're a woman. And you are considered probably one of the greatest women boxers of all time. Why is that not enough? Because if you were a man, we're not sure that you would be as successful as you are in women's sport. I hate when people kind of say the hypothetical if and woulda, shoulda, coulda, and they tell you all the grand benefits of if she was a man. But if you were a man boxer, we don't know if you would have been got stopped. I mean, you're the female version of Sean Porter to me. You got to, first of all, fight 3-minute rounds, not 2. Fourth, the male boxing weight classes are top heavy as opposed to women. Okay? That's just the reality of it. That's just technical thinking and sound logic. Okay? If you're a man, we don't know what outside the ring issues you would have. We don't know if you would have domestic violent issues. We don't know if you would be married. We don't know if you would be starting a family like a Keith Thurman. You see what I'm saying? We don't know what you would be doing if you were a man, Clarissa Shields, because you're not a man. You are a professional boxing woman who is great. Don't understand why you can't own that greatness within that space. No one's knocking you. No one has anything to uh, combat you with as far as your legacy and your accomplishments. But the interviews and the woe it's me attitude is just indicative on how feminine you really truly are, regardless if you box. And it's female shit. If a man was complaining like this, I would tell him that he's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that, there's some emotional, chemical things that's going on there sometimes. And then you're working out, you're in shape, the hormones imbalance. You know what I'm saying? This is science. This is not my thinking. This is science. You know what I'm saying? You're working out, it changed the chemistry of your body. And sometimes we could catch, I feel, Clarissa Shields on a bad day. Okay. And Clarissa Shields got to stop this wanting to be a man shit in boxing. You ain't missing nothing. We're just men. We talk shit. We do shit. We eat like you do. We drink like you drink. We smoke like you smoke. We fight like we do the same thing. We bleed the same blood. We're not getting anything special for being men. There's nothing in it for us. You get your brains blowed out on the top. You get knocked the fuck out in front of your family as a man. It's different. Okay? Embrace being a woman. Embrace being a woke. I don't want to hear this nonsense about you think you could whoop Keith Thurman, you could whoop this person and whoop that person. That stuff is getting annoying and it's getting tired and it's getting ugly. Like, I don't want to hear it. I mean, she said what she want to say because it's freedom of speech, but I'm interested and curious in her fighting ability and her greatness as opposed to her bitching, moaning, and complaining about being a man. I don't want to hear a woman talk about being a man. I watch women's boxing because of you. I don't watch men boxing because of you. I don't watch women's boxing because of the men. I watch it for you, Clarissa. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch women boxing before for somebody else, Savannah Marshall and all them guys, Hannah Gabriel. I watch it for you because you're the person that I'm watching. You're the person that's in control of boxing. You're the A side, and you have the most intriguing storyline as a female boxer. So trying to say that you want to be a man and wishing that you was a man, I have no idea what that's all about. That is the most ridiculous, ignorant thing that I've ever heard continuously come out of a professional's mouth. Okay? You're a professional athlete. Get it done under all circumstances. You don't seem to have anything in your way that's holding you up or a problem or issue, but I just don't understand why you are hell bent on combating and trying to fight men. Why are you so masculine and why are you so enthused to be a man? There's nothing over here for you. Okay, there's nothing over here for you. You're not missing anything. Yeah. So I don't understand why you want to be a man. I don't understand that. I'm not feeling that, and I don't know why you want to keep chastising men and picking and poking with men and trying to be combative. Be nice and cool. I didn't say be submissive. I say be nice and cool. Be player, be fly. Okay, you got a nice thing going for you. You making money. Everybody tunes in to you, Clarissa Shield. We all love you. We all respect you. You are a queen. But this mouth of yours, just like Layla Ali, another queen said, you a mouth. That's mouth. That's all you doing is mouth, and it ain't even charismatic. You're not talking shit like Ali. You just talking shit like it's like Ricardo Mayorga. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that kind of shit. It's not fly. It's not cool. It's not like Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? It's not like how. It's just not charismatic at all. It's real trashy. It's real boring and unnecessary. Okay, we don't want you to be a man. We want you to be a woman. Okay, so. The Errol Spence fight, to wrap this up, man, real quick. This is a quick one. Appreciate y'all for joining me. Hit the likes up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hold you guys too long because, like I said, it's Mother's Day and it is basketball is on. This game 7, Embiid and the Boston Celtics. I get it. I understand. I got a massive project coming for you. I was working on it in between my time that I had, and it's going to be on the bloodline history and lineage of the belt. And I'm going to bring that presentation as I continue to check my sources, as I continue to check my photos and stuff that I have, make sure I'm not plagiarizing anything, and make sure that it is original as possible. With this, we're going to cover the lineage and the legacy of the formations of the belts. In this video, you see the thumbnail. That is the first slide of my 23 page PowerPoint I think I got so far. And I'm cutting and slicing and trimming it up real nice and getting the colors and stuff in there so it could be easy on the eyes and easy to explain. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going back as far as when the belt was first given to a person, when they fought, when, where, how, why. I'm going to cover that. And this is part one that I'm going to give you guys. I'm starting in the heavyweight division. I'm not even doing light heavy. I'm going to do those, but I'm going to take my time with those because it's probably going to be a 2-part process for all 17 divisions, excluding Bridgerweight. Okay, so I'm at the heavyweights right now, and I've started from the conception of where a heavyweight title was dropped at. Okay, and then I'm going all the way up into the rise of a particular fighter, and I'll leave you guys with that. So that's a massive project. So I got to get mine in just like everybody else give theirs. I got to do mine outside of just the talking and the random rundowns and the debates. I have to present a massive project. That's something that I definitely wanted to do as a historian myself. So that one I'm very, very excited about. And I'm going to tell you something. The project that I got, man, you guys going to like that. It's going to be charismatic. It's going to be well thought out. I'm not going to, you guys are going to like this one. It's this heavyweight, man. The stuff that I found out, man, I got a whole different perspective, and I'm not going to dump the information or drop any clues for us the information until I clean it up and I'm certain that I can present it to you guys. It's in a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to speak on it and cook on it. I just want to make sure that I got the speech down, what my talking points said, and my cues lined up with the PowerPoint. But my God, when I say this, man, when I say shit ain't what you think it is and shit ain't what you thought it was, you really find out when you really dig into boxing and find out what's the truth. And you also find a lot of unsung heroes when you go through the boxing, and they're in our face and they've been there in our face. We just spend more time talking about other things outside of doing research. So that's what I've been spending my time doing. That's why I gave you guys this brief one, 30 minutes at a time. You guys should be good with this. We got 7 more minutes. We could just cook on it. I can go through, give them shout outs, and speak my piece to my people in here. And I appreciate you guys for joining. Hit the like up button, subscribe, share the link if you can. We got 7 more minutes and I'm out of here so we can get to this game. I just had to speak on the Clarissa Shields wanting to be a man if she was a man conversation. Keith Thurman running his mouth but not fighting. Errol Spence sending cryptic fucking messages but not making a fight. Keith Thurman, see, this is the thing. Keith Thurman talking about all this other shit except when he gonna be really fucking fighting. That's what that's supposed to be for. Errol Spence sending cryptic messages but not talking about when he gonna be fighting. Then you got Clarissa Shields talking about she want to be a man. Clarissa Shields, let me tell you something. You don't want a dick. It's not all what you think it is, okay? I don't know why women want to walk around in these days and societies wanting athletes, why they want a dick so bad, okay? Be the woman. Be the GOAT. You are the GOAT. There's nobody impeding you. We don't have the debate on where you stand in history, okay? There's Ann Wolfe, Layla Ali, and there's you. You got it. I don't know what else you want to do. You're never going to be Joe Louis. You're never going to be Mike Tyson. I don't even give a damn if you was a man or not. Even if you was a man, you wouldn't be able to, we don't know what you would be doing. We don't know if you would be walking around with a glizzy, shooting up shit, airing it out. We don't know if you'll have 13, 15, 10, or 9 baby mamas, Clarissa Shields, if you was a man. We don't know. So stop trying to give us a woulda, shoulda, coulda, because there's some bad shit and some responsibility and accountability that come with being a man. Having this dick come with a goddamn consequence. Okay? That shit, this ain't just easy pickings. A lot of you guys think dudes out here just be bullshitting and we just, full of shit, but this ain't, nigga, we come with goddamn responsibilities and accountabilities, whether you believe it or not. Okay? There's especially if you're black, you know what I'm saying? Not to say war is me if you're black, but you know how the history of the United States is. Come on, we ain't finna play that game. But especially if you are coming from certain demographics and backgrounds in a certain type of class. So I don't know what the fuck Clarissa Shields got going on, she need to be gutted out real bad and really smashed on. I don't know what the fuck her boyfriend is doing or ain't doing, but that shit ain't working. Because there's no way she shouldn't be just really dropping money, making money, training, whooping ass, being the GOAT. Okay? I'm not saying she can't speak. I'm not talking about her freedom of speech. She can have it. But I just don't understand why she wants to be a man. Errol Spence, I don't know why the fuck he continues to cry. He's getting on my nerves. I'm tired of it. Like I told you guys, I don't believe the fight's gonna happen until they walking into the ring. Until they ring walk, that's when I believe that the fight's gonna happen. Other than that, I just don't believe that the fight's gonna happen. I'm telling you that now off the top of my head. I just don't believe that the fight's gonna happen because he's too sensitive and moist about the Terrence Crawford situation and Keith Thurman situation, and he's saying that he want to be the greatest of all time. And the interview with his baby mama or wife, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, was absolutely terrible, and I already spoke on that. Okay, again, Tony Weeks, he need to be investigated. They need to check his blood to see if he had any marijuana, any drugs, alcohol. They need to check his mental health because I don't know if he was going through something and he just wanted to get the fuck up out of there. Well, maybe he had the shit. But I mean, this stuff be for real, man. Y'all be gotta check that kind of stuff, man. They need to check everybody. Hey, man, do you gotta use it? Do you gotta pee? It's kind of like goddamn having a kid, man. You sure you good? You thirsty? Did he take his blood pressure medicine? Y'all gotta think about that, man. This guy could have been in there having a shit and wanted to get out of there. We've heard stories about this before about guys having stuff going on in the ring and it's something that's itching and they got to get out of there. You heard Mike Tyson talk about that shit before. Itching real bad. He had caught a venereal disease and had to hurry up and knock the guy out so he can get the fuck up out of there. We've heard stories about this all the time. You know, athletes having to shit. So maybe Tony had to shit. Maybe he got some bad news before the fight, but he need to be investigated so we can find out what it is. All right, let me get on up here to this top, man. I appreciate y'all. But again, blood, and for all the historians out there, the thumbnail in this video is the first PowerPoint in the presentation that I'm going to deliver to you guys when I complete and clean up my bloodline of the belts historical piece. It's not going to be a deep dive into resumes or anything like that. We're going to touch on that too. But I'm going to deep dive from the conception of a belt. And then I'm going to go all the way down until we get to a consolidation point in the rise of said fighter that you'll have to see at the end of the presentation. It's going to be part 1 and it's going to be part 2. And this is just in the heavyweight division. After I do part one and part 2 of the heavyweight division, then we're going to take that same template and then I'm going to go down to the next division from there. It's probably going to be middleweight because I'm going to have to go in order in which the divisions were conceived to make the timeline make sense to parallel it with the heavyweight division. But that heavyweight division is so goddamn cold and so goddamn good, man. I love it now. I thought I loved welterweights, but man, oh man, I'm talking about we going back. Y'all gonna like this one. I think y'all will be impressed. This is my first piece. I should have been done one of these, but this is my first piece, and then I'm gonna go ahead and deliver on that. So, what's up, Lisa? You the first. Shout out to you for being the first, man. I'm gonna have to start doing something for that. I'm gonna get creative on that. For the first person that come on my channel, man, I think I'm gonna have to start doing something. I don't know what it's gonna be. I might have to keep a tally, and at the end of the month, I might give a prize out or something like that for who all came over. All right, Lisa, shout out to you. Nash TV, what's up, boy? I see you. Tony Review, shout out to you, boy. That's that Georgia boy as well, too. The Fix, Big Phil Walker, shout out to you. Hype Load, what's up, boy? I see you. Champ Ross, appreciate you. I see you. Oh, yeah, Champ Ross. I'm dropping. I went from 1 to 11 to 20th, but it's still early. It's week 4. Remember, y'all said it's still early, so I want to get on that back end. I had to slow down a little bit and look at what I got going on far as the prediction league. All right, let's keep on going. That's Champ Ross. I see you, though. Lost Art of Boxing, The Lab. What's up, man? I see you. Okay. Jedi, what's up, boy? I see you in here. God Self, I see you. What's up, man? Bruce Gas, always here to support. I see you. Knockdown, I like you. I like to play on that name, too. I like how you spell it. Knockdown. KNOCDOUN. I like how that UGC Flame. There he is. hit me with that fire, as he always do. That's his calling card. All right. Creole the Traveler, what's up, man? I see you. Who I got winning the game? I ain't got no horse in that race, man. I had Golden State Warriors and Milwaukee was my initial pick for the basketball thing, but I don't know who gonna win. Now I'm just sitting back watching and chilling. Blood boxing the OG in the game. What's up, boy? I see you out here. Appreciate that. Hit the like button. Stinger from above. I see you, man. Appreciate you for joining me for this brief moment. Mr. Pads, always in here. Maryland Gas. Are you related to Bruce Gas? Just checking. Maryland Gas. What's up, man? I see you. All right. I am. Came downward. What's up, Big Zach? I see you, man. Big Hill. We almost done up here. Mr. Paz, did you hear the rumor about the Hawks changing their name to the Red Stallions? Man, they ain't gonna change that shit to no Red Stallions. That sounds sweet than a motherfucker. Oh yeah, it's you boxing. It's boxing. Well, I'm sorry. It's boxing to you. What's up? I like you. I like them. I like them. But yeah, just real recap, man. I know some of you guys got in here late. I'm pretty much done. Like I said, I don't agree with the statements that's coming out of Clarissa Shields' mouth about this. If she was a man, shit, this is knowing. She need to stop. She need to do better. Keith Thurman, he needs to do more fighting. Errol Spence need to do more fighting, less cryptic messages. Keith Thurman need to do more fighting instead of interviews talking about what ain't happening versus him getting in the ring and fighting. Tony Weeks needs to get his blood alcohol levels checked. They need to see if he had drugs in his system, because that was a complete fucked up miscue. It was crazy. And Romero, that's not going to help him out because eventually he's going to get stopped. And Tony did not do him any favors by not letting him see that fight through to see what other kinks or lessons he could learn as a boxer, because it wasn't getting easier for him. Janibek looked hot. He looked sensational. Don't see why Andrade didn't fight this guy, but I do see why Andrade didn't fight this guy. And Andrade still ain't done nothing, and I don't understand why we're not talking about it. Okay. Nash, yeah, that's not true. They're not changing their names. It's from a skit. Okay, so yeah, it's a skit. Okay, they just playing in Atlanta. I haven't heard anything about that in Atlanta because I'm down here, but I haven't heard anything about the Hawks changing their name. I doubt that it happened. So, man, happy Mother's Day to you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys enjoy the game. I'll be back next Tuesday, and we'll go from there, and I'll speak on what I got going on for the massive project. I should be probably want to drop that massive project, the Bloodline or the History of the Belts, heavyweight edition. I probably want to drop that sometime this month. So just give me a second. Let me see what it is. I might do it like on a Memorial Day weekend when it's hot, some blockbuster like that, when y'all eating barbecue and shit like that. But I'm going to do it like that. So, all right, bye. Zone 6, I'm out. Y'all be safe.